Let's start using E-Replica version of the Washington Post. You've already been given the username and password to sign in. On the right-hand side, you will see the latest edition of the Sunday's Washington Post. On the left-hand side, you'll see today's edition. So let's click on this, Washington Post, December 16th, 2009. So you double-click on this, and then you'll see the newspaper open. This is the same newspaper that you would see as if you had bought it at your local store. Notice you'll see a table of contents. Here it gives you different sections of the paper, and if you click on it, it'll go to that page, and you can see the articles listed there. Click here, we go back to the table of contents, and scroll down, and you'll also see as you scroll down and highlight over a section, the title of the articles on that page will appear with the first few sentences of the article appearing. So here's the Metro section, and that appears here. So this is a table of contents. This is a good navigation tool to get through the newspaper. You can turn the pages by clicking on the corners, at the top, or at the bottom of the page. And you can go backwards and forwards by clicking on the top or the bottom of the page. You can also turn the page by using these arrows on the bottom of this toolbar, and you can turn the page that way. Another thing you can do is view thumbnails of the paper. If you look over to the right, you can scroll through the entire newspaper by scrolling down here, and it has a highlighting area telling you that this is the Metro section. And then here we are at the Style section, and section D is the Sports section. If you click on that, the first page of the Sports section will appear. This is a two-page view. If you want to see a one-page view, you can click down here next to the question mark and click here, and you'll see a one-page view. And you can turn the page, and then you'll see the newspaper. Double click on any article that you would like to read, and it becomes larger, and you can scroll up and down to read it, or you can move your mouse and go back and forth. Hold down your mouse button, your left mouse button, and you can scroll up and down and view the newspaper. So this first part one of the Washington Post E-Replica version. If you want to go back to the regular version, you click here on this zoom button. Part 1 talks about how to zoom through, how to read a newspaper and zoom into an article. If you double click on it, a different version will appear that makes it easier to read. And you can click here where it says A, and that makes it larger or smaller for you to read. If you close that again, it goes back to the newspaper view. So you know that in order to read the newspaper, we click here on zoom again, go back to normal view. You can see the table of contents, and you can click on different things here as you go through the table of contents. You can turn the page by clicking on the bottom corners or the top corners. Next to the question mark, you can do a one-page view or a two-page view in the newspaper. And you can look at thumbnails over here and scroll through and see what's in the newspaper that way. And you can click on it and it'll become larger for you, or you can make it smaller. You can drag it around by clicking on your left mouse button, and you can go here to the zoom button and make it go back to the regular size. So this is part 1 of viewing the Washington Post E-Replica version online, and we're going to go to part 2 in a few moments.